The principle that I base on, number one is making decision is education. You know, we spent so many years in the school, just sitting there, listening, copying, and taking exam. We don't make any serious decision in life. But you can observe life. We grow when we make decisions, even children. We try very much to give space for participants to make decisions, including co-creating the body of knowledge. But again, our decision is more collective decision, making together with other friends.
I knew in myself that there was something missing, some lack, some inferiority that I really needed to address. So I decided to look for some kind of education that could help with an inner transformation to change myself before I could help to change society became a huge motivation for me. So that's why I came to this course.
In this 5 months, we learn together. We have actually with diversity. We are from different countries. We learn from each other. We help each other. We support each other. No judgment and trust. And also we have safe space to keep secret. What we did in the training made me feel very close, very strong.
This comes to the second principle, which is relationship is education. So that's why we spend a lot of time to create safe container or community of good friends, where people trust each other, compassionate to each other, and support each other when we venture into the learning process.
You know, with the increase of scientific studies going on with meditation, it's definitely seeing a resurgence even in the West. But what interests me about Asia is that it has its traditional roots, and so the way that people look at it is very different in Asia. And yeah, it has kind of like more historical roots to it, whereas in the West it's kind of like a new emergence coming through. And so I was really interested in coming over to study here because it has the richness of the culture.
So the third principle is self-cultivation is education. That's why we create the culture in our organization from beginning to the end of meditation, practicing mindfulness, practicing Tai Chi, etc., etc. These are self-cultivation, which is very core of all traditional education system in the East before the Western school system come here.
My favorite module is mindfulness. Sometimes we are finding the essence of happiness, so we find outside physical. But the real one is in our inner, and like the fear or the suffering is also not outside. So if we are mindful and we can see this kind of suffering, if we can see this kind of suffering and we know the root cause, so we can solve the problem. So mindfulness is, I think, very important.
What happens during this course is that people get a sense of agency. They get grounded and they know who they are, and then from that they know which way they want to lead their lives. So I think it brings a sense of freedom away from social norms and maybe structures that might be controlling. I think This kind of course allows for a real sense of freedom to develop inside participants. And I can see from them they walk away from here. It doesn't even matter, they don't have a clear plan, but they know their direction, they know where they're going. What happens along that way, or what kind of area they start to explore, it doesn't really matter. They know their direction. So I think that's a really important part of how we live our lives. We know exactly where we're going and how we go there. There are many pathways, but at least we know the direction.